Port Jervis to the Port Connects Spotlight Podcast. I am here. I am ready to laugh. I am super excited. Port Jervis graduate, Port Jervis alum, and now stand-up comedian Eagle Witt. Eagle in studio.
What's up, you guys? How y'all doing?
Welcome. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Last time you were in my office, you might have been getting in trouble.
Yes, I stayed in your office
a couple of times. You had your own chair.
But you were so good about it. Like I feel like I had like a system with you. It was like talk to you. If I could entertain you to the bell rang, it was almost like you forget I was in trouble.
Like a study hall.
Yeah.
Walked in trouble, walked out with a sandwich.
Yeah.
Eagle Witt, again, Port Jervis graduate many years ago. But Eagle is on the tour. He is on doing stand-up comedy soon after graduation. But let's talk before we get to that, Eagle. I'm certainly intrigued. Let's talk about Port Jervis, your time here in Port. When you look back, what stood out to you? What still stands out to you?
Yeah, I made some of the best friends I've ever had in my whole life here. Like today, when we get done with this, I'm gonna go, surprise some of my boys. Yeah, I think the friendships is crazy because I've obviously made a lot of friends since, but it's like those are family.
You remember?
I remember. And then you, Miss Lara, shouts to Lara, but you and Lara, you guys were like my rocks of the staff, where I was like, okay, you got me.
Eagle, you always had such a way about you. I could even sense it now, just to be able to talk to people, read people, and even maybe through some tense times where maybe you got sent out of class or people didn't enjoy your comedy, you were still easy to talk to. Is that something you knew you had early, that you could get along with people? Did you sense that?
I think so. I think maybe because I think I did well with like social life wise.
Yes.
And I was like broke growing up. I didn't have the cool clothes. I didn't have I didn't drive a car to school. You know what I mean? But everybody still kind of like messed with me.
Yeah.
So I felt like
in a good way.
In a good way. So socially, I was always like, I'm good with people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you weren't the star quarterback or the. But
I was riding the bench on the basketball team.
But everybody liked you.
Yeah.
Everybody liked you.
Yeah.
And when did you know you were funny?
I think you know what's so funny? I've always been funny, but when I look back on it, I don't remember being funny.
Yeah.
Like
you were just being yourself.
Yeah. And it's like I don't have any core memories where I go, oh, I said that was crazy when I was 16 and I did this. But I know I was funny because I remember people laughing, but I don't remember what I was doing. Yeah.
So blessed.
Yeah, and everybody always told me to do stand-up.
Yeah. Thank you, Ms. Babcock, for your wishes here. If you're watching the show live, jump in and say hello. It's nice, Eagle. The show is live, so people interact with it, which is cool. Yeah. School's not for everybody. Eagle, I look back, we got his transcript here. We cover a couple of those. But you completed it. And I did. I know your mom.
Took some extra time, but I did.
I know your mom was on you, and you always came to school, but you struggled certainly with math. What was it in math? What
You know what I realized? I've realized from doing stand-up, my brain works really well on the English side of my brain.
Yes.
Like communication, writing, easy. Always been really easy for me. The other side of my brain just does not work. It just does not work.
I'm looking for your English. Yeah. You definitely did better in English.
Yeah, and that's with a lot of sleeping in class too.
Financial management. I hope you're doing better with financial management.
Oh my God. Jeez.
We won't show that here. But you did it. What was it again, Miss Lara, your math teachers that you connected that you were able to get through those difficult subjects?
She was really helpful. She was really helpful, and I think she understood me a little bit better, and took it slow. Plus, I got Miss Lara my second year of high school, like my 5th year of high school. So it was also like pressure time. It was like time
to get this done.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, you look great. He's a pro now. Eagle, you're a professional stand-up comedian. And people look at you and say, oh, that's cool. I wanna do that. Yeah. But I know, and it's not easy.
It's definitely not easy.
It's a grind.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work.
Absolutely.
You get on stage, you're funny, you look good, but that was a long time in the making. So talk to me a little bit after school, after Port Jervis, you trying to tackle this goal and make this happen.
Well, I didn't do stand-up right away. I didn't want to do stand-up. That wasn't my dream. But everybody told me to do stand-up since I was like a little kid.
Yeah.
You remember Khalik?
Yeah.
Khalik was my first friend to tell me to do stand-up. He told me to do stand-up when we were like teenagers.
You remember that?
And my mom told me to do stand-up when I was 9.
Yeah.
And
she knew.
Yeah, she knew. She knew
her son. Yeah.
And like everybody that would tell me, I would ignore. I'd disagree. They all of them, my basketball team, everybody. I'd be like, no, I'm not a clown. That's what I would say about it. I'm not a clown. Because I didn't respect it. I didn't understand what went into it. Fast forward a couple years out of high school, I'm like aimless. You know what I mean? I obviously did bad in high school. Going to like community college in Manhattan, not going to class, just like hollering at girls in the hallway. You know, like I'm not doing anything. I work at like a Foot Locker. And I worked at the Barclays Center, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'll try stand up. That's what everybody told me to do. I'll try stand up. Tried it, hated it.
Where was your first time?
Either Eastville Comedy Club. Man, my memory's so bad. Either Eastville Comedy Club or Stand Up New York.
And that like they're not paying you yet. You going and
no, not paying you at all.
And did you write out your jokes? Or you kind of had them in your head.
I wrote them out. Did them backwards. I was so nervous. I did the punchline, then the setup. Oh, I mean, shook. I mean, I remember my heart beating so much. I was like, oh, this is how I die. Like, I can die on the way to the stage. Like, this is crazy. I'll be the first comedian to die on the way to the stage. And I quit. Called my sister up.
One time.
And I was like, oh, that's not for me. I'll make some funny YouTube videos or something. And she was like, just give it a few more times. She's like, nobody's good their first time. She's like, give it a few more times. If you hate it, you can quit. I mean, you could, yeah. 3 weeks later, try it again.
Different club.
Different club. That was probably Eastville. The first club was in New York. I tried again. I get a big laugh, big applause break on one joke. The rest of the jokes bombed, but one joke. I remember this joke to this day.
Got it.
Got an applause break, and I like it felt like drugs. Like I was like, oh my god, like hooked. Never looked back. Hooked. Best feeling I've ever had in my life.
And did you build on that joke because you knew kind of all right that landed well?
Yeah, but like jokes go, you know, especially early on.
Jokes come and go.
Yeah, jokes come and go, especially early on when you're learning how to do stand up.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a joke that you have, like whenever I run into people and they're like, I want to do stand up. They're like, but I gotta write this 5 minutes. I gotta write a good 5 minutes. I'm like, don't worry about that. Worry about getting on stage, because in 6 months you're not gonna be doing that 5 minutes. You'll get better so fast in the beginning that you evolve and you throw away material constantly. And then after a while, like years and years in, you kind of hoard material. You know, get it together for a special. You know.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm so intrigued. Again, if you're watching live, jump in, say hello. Eagle Witt, our former teachers, some of our veteran teachers, I'm sure remember Eagle. Kate Oldham remembers you, guidance counselor.
Yeah.
She gave you a shout out today. And again, you doing that, Eagle, and building that. So it was in that moment you said, "Oh, okay, this is I'm going to do this."
Yeah.
So tell me then what happened from there? What happened next?
Well, the interesting thing is, so once again, I have the work ethic of somebody who was flunking out of high school, you know, naturally. So I would do stand up once or twice a week, you know, open mics. And I thought, I'm grinding, you know. And I had a friend, right, who today is like my best friend in stand up. We were open micing it. And I was like going through a slump in the beginning. When you're doing stand up, there's a lot of like ups and downs where you're just not good, then you're good, then you're not good. And I was like trash for a couple weeks. And it was really testing my patience. I was like, should I quit this? Like, am I good at this?
Still no money.
Still no money. Oh, there's no money for so long. Wow. So I'm like, so I asked him, I go, man, am I good at this? And he goes, what do you mean? You're the best at this. He was like, you're so naturally funny. You're more naturally funny than everyone. Wow. And he was like, but you don't work hard. And I was like, what do you mean I don't work hard? I'm hitting these open mics twice a week. And he was like, dog, I hit 8 open mics a day, every day. He was like, look around. We're all maniacs about this. And he was like, one day you'll sit with your grandkids after you've been a custodian your whole life, and we'll be on TV getting a Lifetime Achievement Award. And you'll go, I was funnier than that guy. And they'll go, shut up, Grandpa. This is the exact combo he gave me. He said exact combo he gave me. And he went, and that's because you don't work hard enough. And I swear to God, ever since that day, I've been a maniac.
Wow.
And it changed my career, changed my life.
Wow.
Because I never would have got to where I'm at now or where I'm going without that.
And I reached out to Eagle. When can I see you? And he said, bro, just reach out. I perform every night.
That's right. Every night.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll take tonight and tomorrow night off. Stay with my mom.
You're up here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that combo that changed it because I was slacking and I didn't even think I was slacking.
Eagle, I compare a lot of things to like a wedding, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say the couple, they're really in love, but the food stinks. There's no air conditioning. The place is not. The wedding stinks.
Yeah.
Stand-up comedy, right? Like being present, getting there, looking the part, stage presence. Because if you're funny and you're up on the mic, the delivery is
delivery.
Yeah. My step cousin Sebastian Maniscalco, he's got those mannerisms. So is it the content? Is it the presence? Is it the connection with the audience? What is it? All of it?
It's all of it.
It's all of it. Talk to me about that.
It's all of it matters. It all matters so much. Like for real. Like I mean, you can be really good at one part of it, but you'll never be a great comic if you're really good at only one part of it. It's like it's all comes together, and it should come together so seamless that you can't even pinpoint what's the best thing about this person.
Yeah.
Like if you ask 10 people, everybody will say, "Well, I like this side of this person."
Yes. Yeah. Afterwards.
Yeah.
We saw Joe Coy.
Okay. Yeah.
And I had never seen somebody interact with the audience so much. Talking, connecting, music. He had a DJ.
Oh yeah.
And it was like, whoa.
It's a whole show.
It was a whole show. Yeah. Wow. So how do you work at it? Do you watch your video afterwards? Do you wake up the next morning and critique yourself?
In the beginning, it's very analytical. In the beginning, when you're learning how to do stand-up, like I used to fill notebooks, front and back of pages with jokes, like crazy amounts. And then like at home, when you get home from doing open mics all day into the night, because in New York City, you could do open mics from the afternoon till 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. So it's like you go out in the early day, not getting paid for any of this. If anything, sometimes they want you to pay. So you're doing this all day into the night. Then you get home, and like on the train ride home, I'd listen back to my sets because you record the audio.
You're recording on your phone.
On your phone, you record the audio.
Wow.
Listen back to the sets, rewrite the jokes because you're not good. So these jokes aren't great. There's still room to improve. So you're rewriting the jokes. Next day, do it again. You keep doing that. But now you get to a point, at least for me, you get so, not to sound cocky, but you get so good at stand-up that you don't need to do all that. It's like, I know how to write a joke. Like to me, like I don't even fill notebooks anymore. Now I just put like an idea in my phone. And then when I go to translate it on stage, I'm so like, I know how to write a joke so well. It comes out in joke form. Like I know how to like speak in joke form.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, this is an idea. It's not a joke. But when I say it, I'll figure out a way to make it into a joke. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. Yeah.
But it's like years of like learning how to write a joke.
I mean, I love Jerry Seinfeld, comedian cars.
Oh, yeah. I mean, his craft is amazing.
When are you getting on that, by the way?
I mean, when he brings it back, hopefully.
Well, Jerry, Jerry, if you're watching, I want to see my man Eagle on it. But he talks about like, is everything funny? They're out just walking around having coffee, and they make a joke. Like,
yeah,
is everything funny?
Well, you can make everything. Once you know how to write a joke, you can make anything funny. But that's where it gets fun. That's where it becomes, well, what do I want to make funny?
Yeah.
Because now this is too easy. If I could just make this like bottle of water funny, now I want to like make the stuff I care about funny. And that's where like the fun stuff comes.
Yeah.
That's where the good stuff comes, in my opinion.
Eagle, we live in such a sensitive society, right? And social media that, but he made fun of black people. He made fun of white people. He made fun of the president. Do you get involved in any of that, trying to like not offend, or it's comedy and everything's on the table?
I'll say that I think it's you're just walking the tightrope at all times. I mean, but you're gonna offend.
Yeah.
To expect to not offend, unless you're doing like cookie cutter stuff, you're gonna offend. So it's just like whatever. I will say this: you can't get canceled for offending. That's not real. You can get canceled for doing something, but for saying something as a comedian, there's no such thing.
Yeah.
You can get people mad.
Like Tom Brady got mad when the guy made the joke about the massage.
Yeah. And that was real. That was real, man.
It happened.
That was real.
But did that guy cross the line? Because Brady didn't like it, but it was funny. And you know what? He still got paid. Jeff Ross still got paid. You know what I mean? And the night went on. Tom Brady didn't punch anybody. You know, it's whatever. People laugh.
People laugh.
Do you feel at this point in your career, Brian Roman, always a funny guy. Rose, we're going to see him.
Wow, Rose.
Whoa, look at that.
Big shout out to Roman.
Basketball legend, bro.
Yo,
Wow.
open gym legend. I appreciate you, Roman. Yo, don't get enough credit for how nice I was in the open gym.
Yo, he signed the jersey, bro. You see the jersey? He signed the jersey.
Yo, you know what's crazy about the open gym thing? Is and it's shocking I do stand up now. I was so nervous in actual games because the crowd of peers were watching me.
Yeah.
And I'd freeze up. And then when I go to the open gym, I was a star because nobody was there.
Legend.
And now I do stand up. It's mind blowing.
If your boys were in
Beta, what up? I used to have a huge crush on Beta.
Nice. Beta. If the boys were in the audience now, would you be nervous or not?
No. And I've had experiences they came out to see me.
People.
Yeah.
Well, Eagle and I talked off air, trading a lot of texts. We're going to see about doing something here in the school district that we could do. Could you? And I told Eagle here, no cursing. It's a PG show. Could you do a show without cursing, Eagle? Could you do it or is it just part of the act?
I mean, I could. It wouldn't be as good a show.
Does the adjective F or S add to the?
It does. I think curse words, bring emotion.
It's an adjective.
Yeah. It shows the person's passionate about what they're talking about.
We'll do the 6 o'clock show at the high school, and then we can do the 8 and 9 at the Erie.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
The Erie is a different, thing. There.
Oh, yeah, Cynthia. Oh, this is so dope. This is
like
fun.
alumni connection. Yeah, these are your people.
Yeah, these are my people. This is cool, man.
I love it. Eagle, another thing is scheduling. If you follow Eagle on Instagram, Eagle the comedian?
Eagle Witt official.
Yeah. Your email is Eagle.
Yeah.
Scheduling. I mean, you are booking. When is too much? When's not enough? Obviously, it's like working out every day. You're crafting, you're building. Travel, Houston.
It's a lot. So this is my first official year as a national headliner, which is it's like a new tier of being a stand-up comedian professionally.
You're the last guy up.
Yeah, nationally. So I'll go to a city and they know who I am and they'll buy tickets because I'm there, and then I got to do an hour for them and travel all the time.
It's an hour.
Yeah, it's an hour, and it's this is my first year doing it. So the tour schedule that you guys see actually isn't how much I'm working. I'm working more than that.
Those are just
road days.
Yes.
I'm in New York City every single night doing multiple shows a night.
Wow.
But those are 15 to 20 minute sets because it's a showcase city because there's so many comedians in New York. But the dates that are on my page, that's me on the road. It is heavy, but it's only gonna get more. So
that's good. That's a good problem.
It's a good problem. I want more.
Yeah,
I want every weekend.
Sense the energy. Eagle, it's May 20th. So you're here a couple of days. So let's go to Friday, Memorial Day. What are we doing? May 24th. Mm-hmm. How do you build that schedule in New York City? How do you look? Okay, I'm going to this club. All right, this club's way downtown. That's 30. How do you build all that?
So it's interesting. So it is like a real job. So it's like the comedy clubs do employ us, but they also understand, and I think this is since the 70s, 80s, like Eddie Murphy days, they understand that they're not paying per club enough for somebody to pay all their bills, and that there's other clubs, and it's a city of 10 million with a lot of tourists, and it's essentially it's the capital of comedy. It is so many comedy clubs, so they work with each other schedule wise, even though they're competitive.
Yeah.
Where they go we submit availability like you would for a regular job, right? Kind of, some jobs, right? We submit availability, and then they shoot us back dates. And then we figure out our schedule based off that. So it's this club wants me at this time, at this day. And they also do times, like you're going to be on stage at 9:15. Not the show starts at 9:15. Show can start at 8. You go on stage at 9:15. So then if you have another club uptown where it's you go on stage at 10:20, you can go, all right, I can time this out. I just got to get off stage and run over there. And it's doable. Before you know it, you got 5, 6, 7 spots a night. Wow. I mean, on a busy night. Yeah. On a Saturday, Friday. On a Friday, probably 5, 6, 7 spots.
You're going into 1 in the morning performing?
Yeah. I mean, shoot. See, I said shoot. I'm not cursing. This past Friday, I got off stage at 1:40 in the morning at the Comedy Cellar.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I'm texting them at 8 in the morning. Eagle, you coming to the show? Wow.
Yeah, my mom was in the city. She drove by. I just got a new apartment, and she called me 8 in the morning. She had been in the city from the night before. She called me 8 in the morning, like, I'm about to drive back upstate. I got a housewarming gift for you. And I was like, Mom, I'm not leaving my bed right now. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not leaving my bed right now.
Wow.
I can't. I'm so dead in the morning.
Are you exhausted at that point? You've done 3 or 4 shows. Are you exhausted or are you exhilarated?
Exhilarated, but it's a fake exhilaration. I'm drained physically, but you get so much energy from the crowd. Like, it sounds like hippy dippy, but you do. You get so much like energy from the crowd that when you get done, you're wired. Even if you're like drained, you can't go to sleep. Like, you stay up for a couple hours after you get home. It's like hard to shake it.
Eagle, I got my timer. When I'm doing something that's specific, I got my timer here and I want to hit the mark. You got 20 minutes of jokes. You have your thing.
Okay.
But all of a sudden, you start talking to this couple in the crowd, and you see this one wearing a Taylor Swift shirt or a Tom Brady jersey.
Yeah.
And you in Boston, and you.
Yeah.
How do you manage the clock? And I got a funny thing going with this guy. Is there a clock up? Like,
so
is someone going in the background?
Well, when it's time to wrap up, they light you. There's a light. There's usually a light in every comedy club. If you're doing like some random show somewhere that's maybe not a specific comedy club, they'll use their phone. But a light is how comedians know when to wrap it up. There's always a light.
30 seconds.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Or whatever you ask for. Like, when I'm on the road and I'm doing an hour, I ask for a light at 45 minutes.
You got a 15-minute.
A 15-minute light, and I could usually, because also you're contractually on the road, supposed to do a minimum of 45 minutes as a headliner. So once they give me that, I go, all right, well, now I can start wrapping it up. And I usually wrap up around anywhere from like 57 to like an hour and 5. But a light. And then also it's like going in and out of interacting with the crowd, back to material. It's I don't know, it's easier than it looks. Once you're comfortable up there, especially for like a person who's like naturally funny, which not all comedians are. Some comedians are great, but they're not naturally funny. Yeah. They're just really good at writing jokes.
Yeah.
But for a person who like can flow with it, it's actually easier than the material in a weird way.
You look great.
Thank you.
How do you decide what you're wearing? Are you wearing, I got my porch shirt on, you go in t-shirt, you got your look, you got.
Well, on stage?
Yeah.
I wear whatever, Murata.
You're not Jerry Seinfeld, the coat. You're not.
I go on stage in sweat sometimes, man. I had an opener. I took this young comic on the road. He's the future. I took him on the road with me to open up for me. And he was in sweats. And he was like, oh, man, I feel so bad. My bad, man. I was at my boy's crib. I should have. And I was like, bro, relax. I was like, I've gone on stage in sweats before. Don't trip. Yeah. Just go be funny. And he was funny. He killed in sweats. And I was like, cool, whatever.
The humor would trump it.
Yeah, humor trumps it.
Wow. But you look good on stage. I mean, you look good.
Thanks, man.
Sometimes you got the long hair. Sometimes you have the tight cut. Yeah. I mean, clearly you're looking the part. But you literally are not, all right, I'm going there, let me wear this on.
The only thing I won't do, I won't wear something that's distracting. Because that's the thing. That's the thing. Like when I had long hair, I wouldn't wear my hair out. Anything that's distracting, I don't.
Takes away from the jokes.
Takes away from the jokes. They don't even realize it. You'll realize it as the comedian. You see their eyes wandering. You see their like, oh, you're not paying attention, and then the jokes aren't as good.
Talk to me about the cell phones. I know some comedians they got to turn them off. Talk to me about distraction and people.
People are good. People are usually good with not looking at their phone. You know what I mean? But people are bad with not recording. That's what I notice. It's like when you go to a musical concert now, everybody records the show instead of watches the show, right? So they're watching it through their phone, which is kind of weird, right? Yeah. And that like never used to be a thing. And people do that at stand-up shows too if you don't tell them not to do that.
And is it because you don't want them to? Because like if you go on social media, there's Eagle Witt jokes out there, right?
Lots of teaching similarities, Roman.
Yes, Roman.
But it's I assume. Yeah, you don't want people like until the special's out, the material's not finished, right? So like, I could have a joke about something that's maybe like an edgy topic, and the first 100 times I do it, literally, it can be messed up. Like it can be something that would really hurt people's feelings and offend people and get me in trouble and all this stuff. But I'm just working out the wording. It's not necessarily where my brain is on the topic. I'm working out the wording, right? if somebody records it in the process and then puts it out, there's no context to, oh, that's an unfinished product. It's just, this is what he said. You know what I mean? It's like, no, you got to let somebody get through. Brittany, what up? You got to let somebody get through, you know, the process.
I love it.
Craft it.
I love it.
So that's why it's important. Yeah, you can't let people record it.
Eagle Witt here. You're watching. Say hello. A lot of alumni, a lot of teachers watching. Eagle, you know, normally we talk about Port Jervis people that have had an impact on you. But you're in a business that's extremely competitive, extremely popular. Like, it's rare you meet someone that's like, yeah, no, I don't like stand-up comedy. Who are some people that have helped you? Like, who are some
helped me?
Yeah, like mentors that you could text now and say, yo, man, I got this situation. How do I handle this?
Ricky Velez, for sure. Who y'all should watch his HBO special. I forgot what it's called. Here's Everything, maybe. Something like that. Ricky Velez, definitely I could reach out to for advice at all times. I feel like. Thank you, Brittany. See, she put 2012. That's interesting.
It's somewhere in it.
It's
like,
somewhere.
It's the artist formerly known as the graduate, formerly known as it could be anywhere from 08 to 17. It's in the range.
Ricky's
graduation year, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Century.
Decade. Andrew Schultz is a big help. He's a big help. You should look up Andrew Schultz too. And then there's people who have taken me on the road, put money in my pocket, taught me things on the road, give me experiences that I've never had on the road.
Show you.
But I wouldn't necessarily like text them for advice because I just feel like there's other people I can reach out to. I don't want to bother them. I don't want to mess with their time. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I went on the road with Aziz Ansari. And like I got to perform at the Garden, which is crazy. What? I got to perform at all these theaters and arenas and all that cool stuff, and learn how to perform in those spaces because it is different. It's not like performing in a smaller space.
Yeah.
And you know, he taught me a lot through that and put a lot of money in my pocket and really gave me a resume builder. You know, and same with Andrew Schultz. He's also like a big act that does arenas, and it's like Schultz I'll reach out to for advice because we're a little bit closer generationally in stand-up. He's been doing it longer than me, but not as like crazy far gone as Aziz. And like he lives in the city, you know what I'm saying? We're like friends. But Aziz, I wouldn't reach out to necessarily. I have reached out to him, but not for advice. For something else, I reached out to him for a favor. But yeah. So those people do help. Like Aziz helps. Like that's help. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just don't know if I'd reach out to him, you know, on a daily.
What's different about those big spaces? I mean, Madison Square Garden.
Slowing down on like a level where you won't understand it until you do it.
You gotta let the joke settle into the crowd.
It's insane, bro. It's like comedians will always say like, when you do a big space, slow down. And I was hearing that for years. And then I did my first theater with Aziz. We were like in North Carolina or something. And I go on. I did okay. And I get off. He goes, how'd you do? He's like in the green room that's like separated from the thing. I go, I did okay. He goes, it sounded good. I said, I know I can do better than that. I said, that's not my good. I was like, something. And he was like, well, can I give you some advice? And I was like, sure. And he goes, slow down. And I go, yeah, I was trying to. Everybody says slow down. He goes, no, I heard you. You did slow down. He was like, slow down even more.
Wow.
He was like, whatever you think you should do slowing down wise, slow down like 5 layers, but like
because you're always fast. You talked fast.
Yeah.
You thought fast. Everything was fast.
So I went on the next show. It was a doubleheader in this theater. Man, you could sell some tickets. It's a doubleheader. I go on the next show, and I go really slower. And it's not even necessarily how you're talking as much as how much time you give in between each joke.
Yeah.
So it's like you do the joke,
time,
sit in it. It almost feels like you're bombing the first split second. The first split second, you're like, why are they not reacting in your head, right? And then the laugh starts. And then it goes, and it waves back to the back of the room, the laughter, comes back to the front and smacks you in the face. You're like, oh.
Wow.
And then you start the next joke.
Wow.
It's really slowing down. Like the Garden, like slowing down like crazy. Wow. In between jokes.
Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden.
Wow. From the Bannock Arena, Mr. Roman, to Madison Square Garden.
Didn't get to play in the NBA, but I got to tell some jokes.
Wow. Hit some slam dunks.
Yeah. Hey.
Wow. Eagle, this is great. We're so proud of you. Again, we've met so many cool people on this alumni program here.
This is so
Dentists, doctors,
That's
lawyers.
fire.
First comedian we've had on.
Yeah,
And definitely a challenging business. It's not easy.
not easy.
What are some things that you don't like about the business?
Where it's at right now. Like right now, it's not about. I think there were times in the past where it was more about like who's really good. It was like more about the art. Now it's about numbers. It's about followers. It's like because social media is killing TV and movies so much right now when it comes to viewership.
Yeah.
Everybody from the TVs and movie side is going, and that includes streaming. They're going like, oh, okay, we want people who have a huge social media following. We don't care about anything else.
Wow.
So that's my least favorite thing right now. That's the thing that's
Wow.
constant battle.
Need like a social media marketer.
Oh my God, your social media presence is everything. You could be terrible at stand-up, but if you have millions of followers, they'll open every door for you.
Yeah.
Because that's money.
Well, Eagle's on Instagram, Eagle Witt official.
With that being said, follow me on Instagram.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I looked at all your stuff. The clips on there are great.
Yeah.
It looks good. And your Facebook, you brought back your Facebook.
I just brought back my personal Facebook. Yeah,
I thought it was a spam, and he said, "No, that's me."
My family hit me up, thought it was a spam. They were like, "Is this a fake account?" I was like, "No, it's me." I was like, "It's me." I just wanted something for my family and friends that I grew up with. You know, you guys.
Well, here in Port Jervis, let's support Eagle again. It's a difficult business, but something everybody enjoys, and you're doing well.
Yeah, I am. I'm blessed.
Good.
I'm doing really well.
Eagle, one of the clips I saw, again, I loved it. You handled a heckler incredibly well. How much does that happen? How much do you invite that? And then how much do you look to slay the?
Doesn't happen that much. And I invite it. I don't mind a heckler. I don't mind a heckler at all. I enjoy a good heckle. For real. Like it's just easy content. I don't have to do material. I can just like post that and it's like great.
Yeah.
And hecklers are so easy to beat. They're so easy to beat. Part of it is it's psychology. Part of it is like you're on stage. I don't know why they don't think of this, but you're on stage. You're making this huge group of people laugh.
Yeah.
So those people are automatically on your side. They're like, we paid to see this guy. We like this guy. He's busting his ass up there. I can say ass. I feel like
That's pretty much, yeah.
he's busting his ass up there trying to make us happy.
Yeah.
And then now you come out of left field being a jerk. They're automatically on my side more. So if anything I say, they're going to laugh. They're like, oh, yeah. It becomes bullying. Justin, what up, man? He lived across the street from you my whole life, man.
Oh, really?
What up, Justin?
Still can't spell his name.
Yo, what a name. Saltamashia.
Good Italian boy. Eagle, you're doing well. We're proud of you. How do you take it to the next level? How do you get there to one of these guys, the Kevin Harts, the Jerry Seinfelds? How do you get there? I mean, that's the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
How do you get there? Is it movies? Is it the Netflix special?
I mean, I think it's the right special, honestly. And I've never dropped a special, and me and my team were like talking about it every day now, you know, which doesn't mean it's coming like in a month, but it's coming within the next like year or two. Phenomenal special mixed with a little bit of TV. I just got on a TV show. I can't say what it is yet, but next month I'll be able to announce it.
Oh.
I almost, so there's a shirt that has it on it. And I wore a long sleeve thing like here because I didn't realize it was so hot upstate. It's not that hot in the city. And I changed into the shirt in the car when I realized how hot it was. And then I was like, oh my God, I can't wear this. And I like took it off and I put on a different shirt.
Wow.
So, hopefully that will boost things and then mixed with a great special and different opportunities for sure.
You look healthy, you're fit, like you work out, you go to like eating healthy, or you go to eat McDonald's. Like
I eat terrible.
Really?
I just started playing ball again.
How come you're not overweight? Or?
I don't eat a lot. I eat like one meal a day.
Sorry.
Bless you.
Sorry, don't have COVID. Sorry. Sorry, we're in close proximity here. Sorry. So you don't eat well, but you don't eat a lot.
Yeah, I don't eat a lot. I eat junk, but when I eat once a day. I eat like at nighttime.
After the show?
Yeah. Sometimes I'll eat a little before the show and then after the show.
Is that intentionally you're fasting, or?
I'm weird. Like I could be hungry. Like I'm hungry right now, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm cool.
Well, you dished me for lunch. I mean, I could.
Yeah, I was like, enjoy yourself, man. Like I'm weird about food. Like I don't need it. I'm like, okay. I drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't eat a lot. Wow.
Yeah, I don't eat a lot.
So when you wake up, you going to do show. You did shows the night before. You got shows later in the day. You're not eating lunch before the shows?
No. If I am, it's like a small lunch or maybe a snack.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, you look good.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a grind. I mean, late nights, travel. You have to take care of yourself. It's a marathon.
Yes, it is a marathon. It is
Okay.
very hard to travel. I'm just now getting used to for the first, I have been, like I said, like this is my first year, like officially being like a national headliner.
Yeah.
That first couple months, I was like, this is great. This is amazing. And all like my OGs in comedy would be like, okay, just wait.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm starting to feel it. I'm starting to go like, now when I get home, I'm like, thank God I'm home. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, being on the road is hard. It is hard.
I mean, you're in New York City. It's pretty easy to get to the airports. You're not commuting up here.
No, it's easy to get to the airport.
Yeah.
But then like just being in a hotel room all the time and just it sucks.
So talk to me about that downtime. Are you writing jokes? Are you scheduling? Are you going to see this city? I'm in Houston, Texas. I'm
When
going
I'm on
to
the
go check
road?
this out. Yeah. What?
Oh, I'm a hermit crab. I'm such a hermit crab.
In the room.
In the room, which
Right.
it's a toxic trait. I need to learn to be more out because it's not good for you mentally to be in the room after a stand-up show on the road. But yeah, I'm a hermit crab. I might, there's a little groupie energy. I might, parlay, but
Are you
mostly just chilling.
Are you learning about Houston before the show so you can make some connections, or you?
Not really.
No?
I go in there like I want to work in this hour. Like I'm trying to put out a classic special. Like I want to work on this hour. Like it's all work for me. Wow. I'm like I don't want to play with you guys.
Wow.
I know you guys will like these jokes for an hour, so I just want to get to it.
I love it.
It's important.
You have a standard kind of opening, or you jump right in? You jump right in. I mean, you start telling jokes you got.
Yeah. I mean, I thank them for coming out.
You say, "What's up, Houston?" I'm on.
Yeah, like I thank them for coming out. I always tell them to give it up for the host. The host is doing hard work, so I always tell them to give it up for the host. And I thank them for coming out. I'm always shocked. I'm still shocked that people know me in different cities. I think that's amazing.
That's awesome.
So that's the number one thing I say before I start is I'm like, wow, I can't believe I came. Thank you for coming out. Like it's so important to me to thank them because I'm like, yeah, I don't have to support me yet. I'm not Kevin Hart, but they like me early in the career.
That's good.
And I appreciate it.
What do you do if the guy or girl before you is not funny? Like, are you off to the side? Can you hear them? Are you?
Yeah, I can hear them. Weirdly enough, that's harder than if they are funny. Like people sometimes people worry about following a killer.
They're ready to laugh.
They're ready to laugh. The crowd's in a good mood. All you have to do is be yourself, which is hard for some people. But if you can be yourself, you'll be fine. To me, following someone that bombed is way harder. Way harder.
Crowd is salty a little bit.
Crowd's salty. It could also be a sign that it's a bad crowd. Maybe that comic's not even bad. Maybe it's a bad crowd. There's so many worse things like to think about when someone bombs.
Wow.
I've followed everyone. I have followed everyone. Because the Comedy Cellar, you will follow everyone. Like,
Good, bad, and the ugly.
No, only good. I mean, the Comedy Cellar is the best club in the world. But it means that you'll follow the legends. You'll follow famous legends, people you look up to that are amazing, the best comics in the world, and you learn a lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Eagle, here we are again. Graduated somewhere in there, the artist formerly, the student formerly known as Eagle. You were going nowhere. You didn't know what you wanted to do. You're in New York City. You're working at Foot Locker. And you found your way. We have a graduating class coming up here. We have kids not really knowing what they want to do. We have kids that don't love school. What would you tell those people? What would you tell them?
So funny. I was talking to this girl and I was like, I think my assistant principal from high school is gonna at some point be like, come talk at the school. And I'm the wrong person for this. I was like, I don't know if this is a good idea. And she was like, what do you mean? You're like a success story. And I was like, yeah, but like I was terrible in school. And she's like, well, that's like motivational. And I'm like, kinda. Here's the thing. I would say,
terrible.
Listen, man, that's pretty bad. Y'all don't want to see that. That's pretty bad. I'd say, listen, I don't want to say school is not an end all be all, but it's not. I mean, it's not for everybody. Try not to, make anybody's lives too terrible. I will say you regret that because I used to make a lot of teachers' lives terrible, and I look back on that and feel bad.
Because you were joking around the class.
I was a jerk.
You were heckling them.
I would heckle them all the time. I used to tell Mr. Knigley, like, yo, if you let me sleep, I won't roast you. Like, just let me sleep. And he would constantly wake me up and try to go at me. I'm like, all right, well, now we're going to roast. Let's make it a joke about you. The whole class about you now. A lot of those times when I visit you, it's from his class.
You didn't get along with Caniglia.
No, all shouts to Caniglia, though, because I look back and I'm like, oh, he's a nice guy. He's a great teacher. But when you're that jerk student, you're not thinking that way, you know? So I will say, think about, you will regret the way you're acting. You'll feel bad when you become an adult and you realize these people are doing a job that they care about and, you know, trying to do their best. But school's not an end all be all. If you're graduating high school and you're looking at your grades and you're like, man, I'm never going to be nothing, that's not true necessarily.
Yeah.
Maybe.
What are some lessons that you took from you? What are some things that from school that you carry with you?
Man, that's a hard question. Lessons I carried from school. I don't know specifically how to define this, but I'd say knowing how to deal with people. I think it's the most important. In my opinion, the most important thing that separates real school from like being like homeschooled. When you're homeschooled, you don't get people skills. You don't learn how to manage people and manage feelings with other people and treating people the right way or treating people the wrong way or seeing how it affects people and building relationships, breaking relationships, and all that stuff. It all comes from school, and that includes the teachers. That includes the teachers, the principals, the staff, not just the students, because the students are on your level. But in life, you're going to have to deal with people who are not on your level, who are like beyond you, who maybe you don't like, or they say something to you, or they talk down to you, and you're like, oh man, you got to deal with that. You can't deal with that like a maniac.
Good answer.
Yeah.
You did. Good answer.
Right now we out here.
Eagle, tell me about this lesson. What's ringing here? I got an email that guy. Tell me what's of this one. You in Club A for X amount. You're booked. You got a 7 and an 8.
Yeah.
Club B calls.
Yeah.
And they paying you bigger money. They're paying you more money, bigger gig. It's the day before the show. How do you handle that?
You just can't do it. Can't do it.
You tell them you booked.
You're booked. You know what I mean? I mean, there's rare exceptions where maybe you can make a switcheroo. You know what I mean? But, you know, I mean, especially in New York, these are relationships. Like, these are real. These are the things that pay your bills when you don't have road dates.
Yeah.
You know, because the road pays a lot. So it's like, if you, like, a road calendar that's filled is good financially. Don't get me wrong. But you can pay your bills off New York City comedy if you're a real New York comic, which I am. But it's like you need those relationships with those clubs. You need those club owners to feel like you're reliable. You need those bookers to feel like you're reliable. So it's like there are no, like, if you don't show up, you better have some apologies ready, some hugs and kisses, like, for real. I had an experience recently where I didn't show up for a Comedy Cellar spot and had to come and hug and kiss the booker and I'm so sorry and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, it worked out, but it's like,
so what happened? Like, I got my calendar here. I got my phone. I got Siri. What happened? You missed it? You didn't write it down?
Oh, I was going through personal life stuff. I was going through stuff, and it was a hard night for me. And I had a brain fart, and I got a call from her, and she's like, "Where are you?" And I was like, yeah. I was like, so I had to just go. I missed the spot. She replaced me with another comic, and I had to go hug her and be like, "Hey, I'm sorry," but she's been working with me for years. So.
Yeah. So she forgave you.
She forgave me. I was booked the next week.
Eagle, you say personal stuff here, like, if something happened in my family or I didn't feel well as a principal, I still could do my job. I still could come down the hallway, get your class, let's go. Maybe I wasn't as Port Jervis pride as you were used to. Yeah. But I could still do my job. Yeah. If you don't feel well, you have a loss in your life, something happens and you just don't, like, you turn it on.
The hardest part of stand-up.
Yeah.
Hands down the hardest part of stand-up.
Fake it.
You fake it. The hardest part of stand-up.
You get into it when you
nope. Nope.
No,
you're autopilot. You're relying on the tricks that you've learned throughout the years by grinding in stand-up. You're relying on, like, I know how to be a good stage presence. I know how to deliver a joke. I know the words to these jokes. I know how to make it feel like I'm connected even though I'm not. Wow. It's autopilot. Your brain is depressed. Your brain is like, I'm going through all this. Your brain's not even present. Your mouth and your body is moving away from your brain. Your brain is like not even there. It's the hardest part of stand-up. When your life shit bad, when your life's bad, that's the hardest part of stand-up. But I mean, that's hopefully far and few in between. And it is, for me, I'm very lucky. But when those days are the hardest parts. Yeah.
Because it can't always be laughter and joy.
No. Especially, when you're on the come up, you know what I mean? I feel like if you're a multi-millionaire comedian, then maybe you use the stage as like a vent. You go up and you go, well, you know what? I am having a terrible day. I'm going to vent and use this as therapy.
Yeah.
But that's a privilege you have when you have, that reputation, that type of bank account where you can take those risks.
What's your takeaway? I love, again, my Italian guy, Sebastian. I love it. What's the takeaway from Sebastian? Are you a fan of his?
I like Sebastian.
What's the takeaway from him?
He's a great performer. He's one of the best performers. Yeah.
Yeah,
very big.
Yeah.
He's meant for arenas.
Kevin Hart. Give me that Kevin Hart takeaway.
He's the most successful comedian of all time, man. Most successful stand-up comedian of all time.
He is, right?
Yeah.
More than Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, I think so. I think
more than Jerry.
Yeah. I mean, it's success in different ways, right? So it's like Eddie is maybe the biggest movie star that was ever a stand-up.
Incredible.
And then and Kevin can't touch that, right? Kevin's nowhere near that.
But he's in a lot of movies.
But he's in a lot of movies. And then like Jerry is a billionaire. Kevin's not that yet. He probably will be, but he's not that yet. But on a tickets, like live stand-up shows level, Kevin's doing numbers we've never seen before. I mean, he does stadiums, not arenas, stadiums.
Yeah.
He does football stadium, 50,000 people packed in to see a person talk for an hour. It's mind-blowing. Like it's truly like astonishing.
Yeah.
It's hard to sell tickets on the road. It's incredibly hard.
And he's working out, athletic.
He sells, Beyonce, Taylor Swift level tickets to tell jokes. That's crazy to think about.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very successful. Very nice guy too.
Kevin.
Nice guy.
Really?
Very nice guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, his stuff, his marketing, all of that stuff is great.
Yeah.
Wow. Does anybody have a question?
Chappelle.
Brian Roman's asking about Chappelle.
I love Chappelle, man. That's it's funny. I used to always say I didn't have a comedy idol. That's my comedy idol. I think I'm most like him. I enjoy what he does the most.
He's brilliant.
Yeah. Also, for all the flack that Chappelle gets, right now, I think he's torn people a lot. Like people either hate him or love him right now. Ask any stand-up comedian, all of them, from the top to the bottom. You could ask a trans stand-up comedian, who is the best comedian alive? 99% chance they're going to say Dave Chappelle.
Wow.
99% chance. He is on the Mount Rushmore. He does the art on a level that's like crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. He is the guy.
This is fascinating.
Yeah.
This is fascinating.
He's like, it's inside baseball stuff, but it's like, I feel like in every craft, there's the opinion of the public, and then there's the opinion of the craft. And the opinion of the craft is hands down Chappelle is the best comedian alive.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice guy too.
Very nice guy. Very, very nice guy.
Do most comedians want to help people like you help other people? Or is it? I don't want to. I mean, there's a lot of clubs. There's a lot of specials. There's a lot out there.
Help?
Yeah.
I don't know about help. I feel like it's a very competitive thing. Some comedians help, but 90% of like the famous comedians you guys see are really nice in person. They're actually like really nice people. Most of them. There's a couple that aren't, but most of them are really nice in person.
If Jerry's a billionaire, I mean, obviously you're working your way up. If Jerry's a billionaire, why is he still on stage? Why is he still doing
the best thing in the world, man? This is addicting. Like I'm telling you, stand up is great. It's great, bro. Like
you're good at it.
It feels so good.
You feel good after a good show.
You feel good when the jokes hit. You feel good in the moment. You feel good after a good show. You feel good creating something. Maybe a new idea hits you, and it's like, oh wow, I wonder if that's gonna work. Like it's a rush.
Yeah,
it's the best feeling. Yeah.
Do you feel good that you're making people laugh?
Yeah.
It's because I love going. I feel great afterwards.
Back to Chappelle. Another thing, because he's like the person that everybody goes to about offensive humor is. Remember, comedians are trying to make you laugh.
Yeah.
There's you asked about like political correctness. It's like to some extent we somehow as society like forget that the job of a stand-up is to bring happiness. So it's like even if they said something that upset you, it wasn't the intention. Like the intention is to bring happiness. If the intention was to upset you, they would bomb. It's easy to upset somebody. It's easy to go on stage and say nothing that anyone likes.
Wow. Well, we're going to try to get you here.
Chris Rock.
Is this in your way? You want me to move this?
Yeah. Chris Rock is the highlight of my career, actually, so far.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Is it so you had an interaction with him?
Yeah, Chris liked my stand-up and told me. He expressed it to me. Yeah, and it's the best. Like, I put that over everything. I put that over like being on TV. I put that over every moment I've had, Madison Square Garden and all that. Chris Rock telling me he liked my stand-up. I literally, bro, I acted calm about it. I was like, because he was going after me at the Comedy Cellar. So he watched my set. I get off, go to the little comic table. He tells me. I had calm. I was like, oh, cool, yeah, thank you, Chris, thank you, Mr. Rock, thank you. And then like he was like, yeah, and then he went to get on stage, and I ran outside and called my mom. I was like, yo, Chris Rock thinks I'm funny.
Wow.
Chris Rock likes my stand-up.
Wow.
I mean, Rock's like one of the GOATs. I think when Rock passes, I think he's gonna be considered the greatest comedian of all time.
Wow.
Rock is like he's my almost cursed.
Whoa.
He's my favorite comedian.
That's funny.
But,
wow, so that was a good moment. When was that? How long ago was that?
A year ago, maybe 2 years ago, something like that. Year and a half, 3 years ago, something like that. Within the past 2 years, 2-3 years.
Eagle, how often is it you at the Comedy Cellar? You at one of these things, and it's just a night. It's maybe comedians at your level, and then all of a sudden, Hart pops up, or Dave, or how often does that happen? Because you hear about it
a few times a year.
So you're doing a set, and then they say, "Oh, Chris Rock is here."
Yeah.
Wow.
A few times a year.
Wow.
Yeah, a few times a year. They don't say. So what's interesting is the only people I should say. There's two people. There's only two people that I've ever been notified where they're like, "Hey, these people are coming," and it's Kevin Hart. And part of that is because I think he's so famous at this point. There almost has to be a sense of like he's gonna be here. And we almost have to help be eyes and ears. And like, there's also a sense of like, he's going to have to go on stage immediately because if people see him, they might start, overreacting a little bit. It's like some of these comedians, like they're willing to like wait for the young comedian to get done and then they go up. They're still bumping the show. They're still coming in the middle of the show, but they're not in a super rush. And Kevin's there. He's a very busy man. He's very famous. He's very much in a rush. It's like, come on. I've been bumped by Kevin Hart. Been bumped by Kevin Hart just once, but I literally was my first joke into my set, and they lit me. And I was like, they had told me before I got on stage that he was coming. Oh. But I was first on the lineup. Yeah. So I assumed, he's not going to jump on the show that early. Like, I'll get through my whole set. Nope.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you have a question, jump in. This has been great. Eagle, normally the podcast are about 25, 30 minutes.
Well, we're probably way past that. Where is it?
All right. It's 52.
Oh, wow. We're having fun, man.
It's fun.
I'm having so much fun.
I'm so intrigued.
I could also talk about stand-up all day. I'm obsessed.
Yeah. And Jerry's talked about this. You have to be good. You have to keep at it.
I mean, it's insane. I mean, that's the thing is like being in showbiz, to be honest. It's like people, and this is maybe good for if there are any like students that watch this that maybe have like some type of like entertainment dreams or something. Is it's like people, when people go like when somebody's like mean to a celebrity or something, or they're like TMZ or something, and people go, well, they wanted to be famous. This is what they wanted. No, it's not. No one who's famous outside of like 3 or 4 people, like the Kim Kardashians of the world, like outside of like socialites, wanted to be famous. They're really good at what they do and they love what they do, and fame came with that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Showbiz is way too difficult, where if your goal is being famous, you won't make it. You'll quit. It's too hard. You'll quit. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
You got to be good at it.
Yeah. If the goal is fame, you'll quit before you get there.
Yeah.
It's just not that good of a goal. You know what I mean? Once you start feeling, you're like, oh, this isn't even great. You'll quit. It's too hard.
And it goes back to that first joke.
Oh, the first joke
that you got that got that laugh.
Oh yeah.
Gotcha.
That feeling.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. I love when comedians do this. They keep going back to a theme. Roman, what's he got?
He said, do you ever hear a joke from someone and say, damn, I wish I'd have thought of that? Yeah, all the time. All the time.
Can you use it? Can you use that joke?
No.
You can't?
No.
You can't say, my boy Kevin Hart said.
No.
Oh, okay.
What was the theme?
So we can do that. So back to that. So let's say the theme is about Port Jervis, right? You're doing it, and you keep looping jokes back to Port Jervis. Do you keep looping jokes back to a topic, or is it like a windshield wiper? You say this set of jokes, now you're doing something else. Do you keep looping back? Am I making sense? You understand?
I kind of get what you're saying. I mean, the way I will stretch a bit out, which I think a lot of comics do, is like you stretch the topic out. So if I'm talking about port, instead of making it like one joke about port, maybe I'll do 10 minutes on port, but it doesn't necessarily feel concentrated on port because otherwise it get boring. But it is on port. And by the time it's done, you're like, wow, that was 10 minutes on port. That's crazy. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And then the looping back can come in short bursts, which is something Chappelle really made, and now all comedians do it, which is like callbacks. So it's like you have something that gets a big laugh at a certain point in your set. Then later in your set, you use that exact same punchline somewhere else.
Yeah.
And it gets an even crazier reaction because people are like, wow, how do you do that? Like, how do you put it in two places?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Joe Coy did that. We were in Poughkeepsie.
There you go.
And he just kept going back to Poughkeepsie. And so he stayed in Fishkill.
Yeah.
And he just kept Fishkill, and going back to, and the people were local, so they were roaring.
Losing their mind, probably.
Kept going back to it.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he was very funny. Have you met Joe Coy?
Yeah, I haven't met Joe Coy.
Okay. Coy, he's West Coast, right?
Yeah, I think he's at LA comic.
Yeah.
Yeah, haven't met him.
Yeah. What do you got for me, man? You got a question for me?
Are you still a principal?
So people they ask me now, what is your job?
Yeah.
So I'm the director of communications and academic services.
That sounds like you got a lot of raises since I've been gone. Yeah.
It's a nice position to be able to promote Port Jervis, talk to alumni, talk to kids, doing a lot of outreach, and then I'm in the classrooms doing the teacher observations too.
Oh, that's cool.
It's very cool.
That's cool.
It's great.
So the kids know you.
The kids know me. The podcast. The kids are coming on the podcast.
That's fine.
Yeah, we have a kid just the last show is a pool champion. He's won the championship for Connecticut. He's going on the circuit for pool.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I saw somebody drop 50. Roman, did Roman coach this kid?
Roman is like kind of like me of the principals. Roman's like the ambassador of the basketball team. Corey Popolo is the head coach.
Okay.
And Isaiah Boucher dropped 50. So Isaiah
50.
I
mean, we had some nice ball players too when I was playing, but nobody dropped 50.
He was on fire this year. And they started knocking him.
You got some scouts probably?
He is. Brian, I don't know if he signed. I know he was talking to a couple of the community colleges, looking to then get a bump.
God bless him, man. That's dope.
He's a good player.
Assistant varsity. That's cool, man.
Yeah, he's the godfather of the basketball program.
Yeah, I'm sure, man. Rome's the best.
Yeah. So, well, this was fun.
Yeah, this is great.
Eagle again. It's Eagle Witt official on
Eagle
Instagram. That's the best spot for people to follow you.
Yes, hands down, best spot.
When the tour date is not, you're not in Houston, you're not in Orlando, but in New York City on a Wednesday night, how can they find you? Can they find you? Is there an Eagle Witt tracker?
DM me. Or Google me. I know that sounds terrible, but Google me. like the clubs put up the lineups,
Okay.
Google Eagle Witt, and try to find where I'm at that night. If you can't, DM me.
And then how typical?
But try to DM me first.
So you're doing a couple clubs a night, 2 or 3 a night.
Yeah.
And how long you on? 30 minutes, 40 minutes?
No, in New York,
you 15 minutes.
You only go 10 to 20.
Wow.
Only 10 to 20. 20 max, 10 more.
Wow.
Yeah. Because it's a showcase city. It's so many comedians. The Mecca.
The Mecca.
It's the Mecca, man.
Do they say, all right, man, we meeting up here afterwards, and you debrief with them after on a Wednesday night?
What, comedians?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm so antisocial. I'm not who I used to be, man. For real, I was very social when you knew me.
You going back home?
So antisocial.
You going to
now.
sleep?
Going back home. I don't kick it. I don't. I've never drank, never smoked. Even in high school, I never did any of that. So that aspect of it is dead for me. And then I've been doing stand-up so long now. I've been doing stand-up 9 years. I've been professional for 5.
Wow.
So I know the whole community. They all know me. I have my friends that I'm tight with. Chances are I'm not going to see them on a regular night because we're booked at different places or something. If I do run into them, then sure, we'll kick it. But the regular peers, it's not that I have anything against them. We're not enemies, but it's like we're not tight. Like, why am I hanging out with you guys? I'm going home. Say what's up, small talk, and go home.
Right.
Yeah.
Get ready for the next thing.
Yeah.
Where's your next biggest local show?
Biggest local show? New York show?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you're here for a couple of days. Today's
Here for a couple
Monday.
days.
So you're back on Wednesday? You're back to it?
Is today Monday?
Today
Yeah, I'm back Wednesday.
Okay.
Wednesday, actually, I do an hour in New York now that I'm preparing for the first special and really trying to get that together. Once a month in New York, I do an hour for fans, like specifically my fans.
Yeah.
Always sells out in a couple hours. And
I saw the
yeah, that'll be Wednesday actually. So when I get back, I'll do that.
Wow.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
I gotta come watch it. If I come, can I get a
Yo, absolutely.
Yeah. You get a shout out?
Yeah.
Good. All right.
Yeah, man.
I love it. Eagle Witt, everyone, class of from Port Jervis High School. See, you laugh.
Yeah.
It's funny. Eagle was so proud of you, and again, I admire your drive, your grind. That you found that passion, and you're doing what we tell you in school: chase your dreams.
Yo, and
you do it.
You know, it's what you said about like giving advice. Nobody's lazy. They're lazy about things they don't want to do.
Yeah.
If you find what you want to do, you won't be lazy. No, I don't believe anyone's lazy. Because I thought I was lazy. I thought I was like super lazy.
Just didn't find what you wanted.
I just didn't have what I wanted to do. I thought I knew stuff I wanted to do. I thought I wanted to play basketball. There's so many things thought I wanted to do. When you really find what you really want to do, you won't be lazy.
Open gym legend.
Open gym. Like, I'm happy Rose knows what's up, man.
That's a bit. You can make it. That's a bit. Open gym.
I was so nervous in games. I was terrified in games.
What was your number?
11.
11. Rose, we're going to have to see about getting him a jersey. He can wear it.
Oh, that'd be
on
fire.
Rose, number 11. Isaiah going to Orange County Community College, who has made the state, the national tournament a couple years in a row. Tom Ricard, former Port Jervis employee. Yeah, so they've gone to the national. That's a great program.
That's super dope. That's super dope, man.
Yeah, we'll connect you with them, man.
Yeah.
So let's see about number one. Maybe we'll get you to talk to the team next year. But let's see about a couple gigs.
Yo, I'm down.
I want to do a something at the school, a fundraiser for the school, and then we'll see about some shows in town.
I'm down, man. I think the students are gonna the show that I got on that I can't talk to you guys about yet. They're especially gonna love it.
Nice.
They'll. I feel like as a high schooler, like you could there could be like a guest at school and you're like, man, it's corny. I don't want to. But the TV show I'm about to get on, it specifically hits with their demographic hard.
When's the announcement come?
Next month. The show comes out in July. Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah,
you got to follow her here, bro.
Hey, man, I appreciate you. I follow you back.
And if I could help you with anything,
yeah,
letter recommendation, something. If I could help you.
Appreciate you.
I mean, I'm going to give you a copy of the transcript. I know you can make some
transcript.
I know
crazy.
I mean, even the Google, even this was funny, bro. What does Port Pride mean to you? It means a lot. It was so much fun.
It was fun. I always tell people I had a like a TV movie level experience in high school. I love it. Very fun.
What year did you graduate?
Like, I don't know. I think this year.
Kind of maybe. Sort of. All right, we're going to wrap up late in the afternoon here. This is Eagle Witt. If you are in touch with an alum, and we're getting a lot of connections now, please reach out. Again, we're proud of Eagle. If you're in New York City, and like you said, Google him, check him out, and go support his work. Let's support Eagle on social media as well. So I want to see what your Instagram followers were today, March 20th, and then 21st, 22nd. Let me know if you got a bump.
All right, I'll let you know.
The Port Connects bump you up.
I'm with it.
All right.
I'll let you know, man.
Eagle Witt, everybody here on the program, Port alumni. If we could help you, don't hesitate to reach out. And if you have another graduate, please reach out. Eagle, it's always our last question. What does Port Pride mean to you?
It means a lot. This is where I'm from. This is where I grew up. This is where I was raised. You know what I mean? This formative years. This is where I learned I was funny. This is Port Pride means everything, man. Be proud of being from Port. Too many people are not proud of being from Port while living in Port. It's counterproductive. If you're here, you might as well be proud of it.
The city, I don't know how much time you're doing around. The city is on the move. We in
good.
Check out the middle school. We on if you're around Memorial Day weekend, we have an open house in the new building.
That's cool.
It's cool.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Eagle Witt. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks for sticking with us. This is definitely the longest podcast. An hour and 5 minutes. You just did an hour bit, bro. All right, we're going to sign off. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Thank you for supporting. Tomorrow is the school board elections and the school budget vote. Please get out there and vote. Go Port. Eagle, can I get a go Port?
Go Port.
Come on. See you, my friend.